Hello everyone, this is Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations, and I said I would come on and show you how to do your own flowers for our boho project. I have put a link to stamping underscore capital KML, and this is at, I believe, Split Coast Stamping. And she has written out the patterns for 3 different flowers, which I have worked here. So the flower number 1 is this one. And for all 3 of these flowers, I used a size 10 crochet cotton. And for this flower, you use a hook 3, which is a size D, or 3.25 millimeter. For the one here in the middle that's really looks doubled, you use a size 6 hook, which is very tiny. You can barely see the size of it. And then this one, you use a 7. So I'm going to do the 3rd flower here, but I'm just going to use a 4-ply yarn and a USI or a 9, and it's a 5.50 millimeter. And the reason I'm doing this is I want you to be able to see, because with the thread, it's very small. So I fear that by trying to show you how to do this, you wouldn't be able to see it. And I'm only going to show how to do this one here, because it's the smallest one, because I feel like I shouldn't share all 3 of her patterns. I'm going to share this one. The link is below if you want to print the patterns off. And it's also on my community tab, and it's in my Facebook group. So I'm going to set these aside so they don't distract anybody. We'll just shove those aside. I'm going to keep, excuse the white cat hair. I have cats with white hair. So I don't really like working from the outside of a skein. I would prefer working from the middle out. You're either a center out or an outside in. I guess it all depends on how you're handling your yarn. I just don't like working from the outside because the yarn ends up getting a mess. And when you work from the middle, it's pretty easy. So, and I'm doing this as a private video just so that I can focus and not get distracted too easily. So we are going to do a magic ring. I am not changing color. I'm going to stay the same color throughout. And this is how I do a magic ring. I've watched several different people. You just have to find a method that works for you. So when I do it, I put the yarn between my middle finger and my thumb on my left hand. I go over my index finger and around, and then come around again behind it like that. So I've got the yarn, hold it there, then wrap, and then come up under there again, and I kind of hold that and there. So the first time I went around is there, and then I work down my fingers that way. Then I come under this one and I grab this and I give it a twist and I do a chain 1. Okay, that's a magic ring. Now in this magic ring, we are going to now put 15 single crochets. So there's 1, 2, and this, you can tighten your ring up a little bit if it's feeling like you can't control it. You just pull this tail and it tightens the ring. 2, and you're going into the middle of the ring and you're grabbing up. There's 3, there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And then you just grab this tail and you pull until the ring closes up. All right. And then I'm just going to push that tail out of my way. Now, you want to make sure you got 15, so you count the tops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I'm going to get under the top of it. If I can get my hook in there. And I'm just going to slip stitch it to the first one. All right. Round 2, you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, then you're going to skip 2 and slip stitch into the next one. So there's 1, 2, and then we're going to slip stitch, which is just pulling your thread through, chain 2, skip 1, 2, slip stitch in here, chain 2, 1, 2, skip 2, 1, 2, slip stitch in here, chain 2, 1, 2, skip 2, 1, 2, slip stitch in here, chain 2, skip 2, but you should be back at the beginning. And we should have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain 2 spaces. So I'm going to come over here and slip stitch into that first single crochet. Maybe. There we go. That's why it's important not to work too tight or you won't be able to get your hook back in there. I'm going to slip into the first single crochet, but since I'm going to continue with this, I'm going to slip stitch over into that chain 2 space. Just go into the space. I will slip stitch into there. And then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then 5 triple crochets. So I don't know what these are called in the UK style, but a triple crochet is you wrap the yarn twice and go in to that chain 2 space, and then just 1, 2, 3. You wrap it twice, and then when you're working it through, you draw up your loop, and then you start working off in 2s. So there's 2 there, 2 there, 2 there, and you count 1, 2, 3. Hence triple crochet. 1, 2, 3, and that gives us 3 of the triple crochet. We need 5, right? This one is super easy to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 2, 3, and then you'll chain 2, 1, 2, and you'll slip stitch in that same space. Same space, and then we're going to slip over into the next chain 2 space. So do a slip stitch there, chain 2, 1, 2, and then do 5 of the triple crochets again. And that's what you do in each of these loops. You do 2 chains, and then you do 5 triple crochets, and then you chain 2 and you slip stitch back in. And that's all there is to this flower. bring you guys over here maybe. If I can get you loose of the card making stuff. There we go. One, two, three. I need one more. Wrap it twice. Go into your loop. And then 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to chain 1, 2. Come back into your loop down here. And just do a slip stitch. And then go ahead and go into the next chain 2 space. And do another slip stitch. Chain 2, 1 and 2. And then we'll do the 5 triple crochets. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 3. And that gives me 4. One more. 1, 2, 3. Chain 2. Slip stitch back in that same space, and then slip stitch into the next one. Chain 2. Then do your 5 triple crochets. 2, 3. Wrap twice. Or in crochet terms, that's called yowing. Yarn over. So, and then you go insert into the loop, draw up a loop, then work off by 2s. 1, 2, 3. Yarn over twice. 1, 2, 3. Yarn over twice. 1, 2, 3. Yarn over twice. Whoopsie. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2. And we'll slip stitch into the next one. 1, 2, chain 2, and then 5 trebles. And that's all there is to this flower. Once we get these done and we do that last slip stitch, we will fasten it off and the flower will be done. Isn't that fun? We might do another of these flowers some other day, or we might do it in just a private craft and chat. One, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Let me verify I got 5 of them there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 2, and slip stitch in that loop. And I'm going to go into my beginning over here and slip stitch in through that to kind of pull it all together. And then we'll fasten off. I just need a pair of scissors handy here. Now, if you wanted, you could leave the tails just like they are until you decide what you're going to do with the flower, because you might want to use some of these tails. And see, if you pull this tight, the magic loop tighter, it closes up the center. So you could work this tail down to meet this one, and then you'd have those to tie it on or whatever. But that's just one little flower you can make. And when you make it out of the thread and the size 7 hook, it comes out this size. So that's why I wanted to do it with yarn, so you guys could actually see what it you know, see it's being stitched easier than this. Thread crochet is something I haven't done in a while. I can still do it and I enjoy doing it. It's just, it's a little slower for me because it's harder to manipulate the threads with my older hands. They're not old hands yet. They're just older. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. I'm hoping you all might take a chance and make some flowers. I'm hoping to make some up for those that participate in the boho project as kind of a little thank you, even if it's just one per person. We'll see how I do. So I will talk to you on Wednesday and have a wonderful day.